Episode 7, Last Stand. The black SUV barreled toward them, tires chewing up the muddy road. Rachel's heart slammed against her ribs. "No time," Mr. Carter shouted. He shoved the laptop into Rachel's arms. "Go, get into the woods." Rachel stared at him, panicked. "What about you?" "I'll hold them off," he said, deadly serious. "You have to protect the truth." Before Rachel could argue, Mr. Carter yanked open the car door. He grabbed a tire iron from the floor and stepped into the open. The rain had slowed to a drizzle, but the morning was still gray and cold. Rachel hesitated only a second longer. Then, she turned and sprinted toward the trees, the heavy backpack banging against her back. The laptop clutched tight. She didn't look back. She couldn't. Behind her, she heard shouting, men barking orders. Then, a loud crash, glass breaking. Rachel pushed harder, crashing through bushes and weaving between trees. Branches clawed at her face and arms, but she didn't stop. She needed to disappear, just like they had made Emma disappear. Rachel ran until her legs gave out. She collapsed under a fallen tree, gasping for air. She could barely see the dirt road anymore, but she heard voices, angry, getting closer. They were tracking her, maybe with dogs, maybe with drones. It didn't matter. She had to keep moving. Her mind raced. She couldn't outrun them forever. She needed a plan, fast. Rachel wiped the rain from her eyes and pulled out the laptop. The files were still there, sent out into the world. The truth was out, but if they caught her, they would silence her anyway, make it look like she vanished or worse. She opened the last email Mr. Carter had sent. Attached at the bottom was a short message. "If you're reading this, tell them about Project Echo." Project Echo? Rachel frowned. That wasn't in the files. What was it? A stick snapped nearby. Rachel froze. Someone was close. Too close. She stuffed the laptop back into the backpack, zipped it tight, and crawled deeper into the underbrush. She could hear them now. Two men moving slowly, scanning the trees. One of them was speaking into a walkie-talkie. "Target spotted. Moving in." Rachel's breath caught. They were talking about her. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. It was risky, maybe suicidal, but it was her only shot. She grabbed a rock and threw it as hard as she could toward the left. It crashed through the bushes with a loud noise. The men instantly turned, rushing toward the sound. Rachel bolted the opposite direction, sprinting toward a small river she'd spotted earlier. If she could cross it, maybe she could lose them. The cold water hit her like a slap when she jumped in. It was deeper than she thought. She struggled against the current, slipping and stumbling, but she pushed on, forcing herself to wade across. Behind her, the men realized they'd been tricked. They shouted and gave chase. Rachel reached the far bank, dragging herself out, soaked and freezing. No time to rest. She stumbled to her feet and kept running. Ahead, through the trees, she saw something. A road, and parked at the side of it, a rusty pickup truck. An old farmer was loading crates of vegetables into the back. Hope surged in Rachel's chest. She sprinted toward him, waving frantically. "Please help me," she shouted. The farmer looked up, startled. Before he could say anything, Rachel shoved the backpack into his arms. "Please," she gasped. "Take this. Drive. Don't stop for anyone." The farmer stared at her, confused, but something in her desperate eyes must have convinced him. He nodded. Rachel gave him a shove toward the truck. "Go!" He jumped into the driver's seat and roared off down the road. Rachel watched the truck disappear into the distance, and with it, the files that could save everything. The truth was out. Even if she didn't make it, the truth would survive. Footsteps pounded behind her. Rachel turned just as the two men burst through the trees. One tackled her to the ground. She fought, kicking, scratching, punching, but they were bigger, stronger. They pinned her arms and dragged her toward the SUV. Rachel screamed. No one heard, or if they did, no one dared to help. They threw her into the back seat, slammed the door, and locked it. One of the men leaned over her, sneering. "You made a big mistake, kid," he said. Rachel glared up at him, bloody and defiant. "You're too late," she spat. "It's already out." The man's face darkened. "We'll see." The SUV peeled away from the woods, roaring back toward town. In the front seat, the other man pulled out a phone. Rachel caught a glimpse of the screen. A text message flashing, "Asset compromised. Initiate cleanup. Project Echo at risk." There it was again. Project Echo. Bigger than just Emma. Bigger than Willow Creek. Something huge was coming, and Rachel knew, even as the car sped down the highway. They were willing to kill to keep it secret, but it was too late. The world was about to know everything.